Hello, Future Sniper here and bringing you day 10. So, as mentioned last night, I'd camped kind of between these two properties in about here, in what I called my Silence of the Lambs spot. There's probably more about here. And up early in the morning, left no trace and made great time along this kind of dirt access road. Up through here, could see where the path joins if you hadn't come in from Achall, and carried on, and really in no time at all I was in Knockdamph. So popping up easier to see here, here it is, Knockdamph, and yeah, interesting bothy. Took a couple of pics and kept going, and just as I was walking here there was a dirty great big Hercules coming up straight through in the valley down there, the Glen, and yeah, really quite close. The track's good if you're going to make really good time. There's one kind of river crossing, probably back here somewhere, and there actually, and then you know all the way down you can see the bothy for a while, and the schoolhouse was absolutely beautiful, as quaint and as cute as I thought it would be. So I stopped there, boiled water, had some the last of the tortellini had packed out from Achall, and yeah, really enjoyed a short break there. The resurfacing round about here, so again made good time, and then bumped into a couple who are referenced in the video clips. So yeah, they give it all up at 50 and been travelling all over the place and hiking, so really interesting couple, and glad I got the chance to speak to them. And then just follow the track out. It's really easy, takes you all the way down, and then you'll end up at Oykel Bridge, which is a hotel right on the side of the road, obviously set up for the fishing fraternity. But yeah, they were really nice, so I went in there and had some soup and a pint, and by that time it was about 3 o'clock, so I said I really want to try and get a few more miles under the belt. I'm going to turn this over. So yeah, the tail being down here, and all you're doing is you're going out the back, out the front of the tail, turn left and left again over the old bridge, and just follow the forestry track up. And it's, you know, nice enough. What I would say was when you go through the farm, you're going pretty much right through it, and there's a lot of cows and calves, making a bit of a calamity as I went through, but no issue. And just keep following it down, and before you know it, you're on the salmon beats. And you can see the huts down here, actually, huts down here. I didn't see this right turn, and others have said the same thing, so I just kept following the beat, and it was really nice, amazing, and you can see why it's such a popular salmon river, and all the way up. And I think I said that kind of perfect camping pitch, I just didn't feel right using it. It was round about here, and there's a small bridge across the river back up to the track, so no harm done. And I'd read in the book that as you got past Benmore Lodge up here in the Loch, then there was good wild camping sites. So way past 6, and I just couldn't see any camping spots here. It was really frustrating because I was just very tired, and the weather had turned nasty again. So just come back down to the lodge again here, and the couple of spots I did see, when I looked back I could see the back windows of the lodge, and I didn't fancy it, but I did camp up for the night just at the boundary fence, and I'm glad I did. And it was relatively sheltered while it was ferocious that night, and you'll see that from the video clips. And I had to actually tie down the stakes with the extra guy lines I'd put on the and wrap them around rocks for the Dan Dustin X-Mid 1P. So that's plenty to go at 4.5 minutes. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll speak soon. Ta-da. Well, good morning. I'm outside Knockdamph Bothy. Made a okay start this morning. Shall we have a look inside? Well, this looks like a really characterful building, so I've dropped my rucksack in already, And as you can see, we've got a staircase upstairs. I did check the back of the door. Do we have a hook? Not here, I'm sure there'll be one somewhere. So you've got a big fireplace in here. No sleeping platform, but loads of room, things to hang. And there's the book. I can see Walking with Wallace was here. He's more than a few days ahead of me, so I'll put an entry in shortly. And coming through, you'll see my detritus, which will all be removed, of course. Fortunately, a few empty bottles, a bit of junk here and there. I won't take you through this room in the back. It's just got loads of old mattresses in. I'm not 100% convinced I'd want to sleep on any of them. And if we go upstairs, it's beautifully done. Stunning building, really interesting. And you've got some beds, one with a mattress. So yeah, maybe this is the master bedroom, in which case, again, I think I'd be happier on the platform down at the bottom. Well, they're doing some work on this road, but I do believe that's the schoolhouse, and just behind it's a giant digger, so they've obviously been working up here. Fingers crossed it's open. Great news is that it's open, and it's just as brilliant as I thought it was going to be. How quaint is this? So it took me about 2 hours to get from where I camped to the last bothy, which was dark, dingy, smelly, and a fair bit of detritus. Whereas this, you can see why it was the old school. Look at this. Fantastic. There's a bench obviously at the back if you want to sleep through here. There's books, there's history about it. Let's have a quick look at this. Look at that. And, oh, there we go. Day 10 as well for me. So should just point out that there are also 2 hours to get to the last one, about an hour and 3/4 from Knockdamph to here. Another bench, wee bijou room for one, and I'm just going to have a brew in here in the bigger room, more benches. We like this room actually, it's got a really warm feel to it. Plenty to get yourself sorted. There's my stuff. And look at that, which I'm saying a lot. Oh, right, so in the bothy I'm actually going to have, so I packed out some wet food from other pools, so I've got some tortellini. So the reason you can't hear the gas in the background is because I'm using my Stormy Norman stove, and it's been brilliant. I'm 10 days in, right, so I think it takes about 500 millilitres, but I've got more than half my fuel. That looks giant, doesn't it? More than half my fuel left, and I'm 10 days in, so that's been absolutely brilliant. Boiling water at night and in the morning, so enough for a coffee in the morning and a meal at night. So technically this is me where I would have been tonight. I'd have stayed tonight, and God, I wish I could. But I do really want to get that day ahead, and it's far too early in the day. It's only just gone noon, it's about 12:10. So looking good, feel pretty strong. Got my whole legs, my feet seem to be okay, getting good mileage in. So you know, just so glad I didn't bail earlier on, because it was definitely in my thoughts. So anyway, great to be here, and I'll speak to you soon. Hello, right, so this is turning into quite a day. Just realised that I do look as if I'm in some sort of biological control suit. So this is the white's the Tyvek rad light wind cheater. It's actually working out really well. I've only worn it a couple of times. It's been brilliant today, but that's not why I jumped on here. So I left the schoolhouse well over an hour ago now, but I've spent most of my time talking to a couple. who gave everything up in their 50s, been hiking all over the place, done the PCT in Canada, they're in their van, going around, enjoying life, picking up bits of work now and again. Really quite inspirational, really inspirational actually. So I feel it's really good to have met them, really good. The other thing is, literally a Hercules has just gone past me. Couldn't get the camera out quick enough, but really low, really close, and was quite something. I'd seen one from a distance earlier on, so I don't know where it's going or where it's come from, but oh, quite exciting. I think I know where I'm going to camp tonight, but I've still got to get down to Oykel, that's right, and I'm a bit behind schedule, but it was time well spent speaking to that couple. Really nice and good to have spoken to them. Take care. Oh, wow, what a day that turned out to be. Ended up being a bit of a long one, and you have to taking breaks, and the morning was brilliant. I enjoyed the Bothys, meeting those people, stopped off and had some soup and a pint at the Oykel Bridge Hotel, chatted to some people there, and everyone was nice and friendly, and but still keen to get to Knockdamph as early as I can, so I was slightly tempted to say, look, you got a room, but decided to kind of get the mileage in, because I think part of tomorrow is quite challenging, so I will give myself plenty of time. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I actually went right past, we were sitting on it contemplating on the River Ochil, which is beautiful, and there was a patch that hounds the Howgate, and I'm 100% sure it was that, but it was like as if it was mown, it was flat, it just felt as if I was camping in someone's back garden or someone's livelihood, a golf course, you know, something, that kind of feeling about it. So I decided to keep going, and I knew that would mean a few more hours, because I didn't want to, it was at Benmore Lodge, but the book, basically the book had said there's good camping if you can get past Loch Ailsh. So I said, right, I'll try and do that. It also said once you get out of the woods and get onto the open ground, it's, you know, pretty barren and challenging. So I pushed on, went past 6 o'clock, which I don't like to do, and it was back at 7, I think, by the time I stopped. I couldn't find, maybe I was just tired, I couldn't find the camping, the great camping that's there. I don't know if things have changed since the book was done, but certainly I couldn't see them. There was one spot, but you could see the big house from there, so I kept going, and I'm now just before you can leave the woods, and the only good thing I can say about this pitch is it's flat. It's a gravelly, windy, I don't know if you can hear the wind, it's absolutely blowing a hoolie out there, so I wouldn't want to venture out there anyway. I'm just hoping it eases off for tomorrow. So I've just set the tent up, the mat's inflated behind me there, my down's out the bag, and I'm going to try and force myself to I'll have something to eat, and you know, hikers midnight, it'll be 9 o'clock, so I think it's just turned 8. Yeah, if you've been following it, I hope you've enjoyed it. For all my complaining, it's a great sense of achievement, and they had some, you know, really good points today as well. The Bothys were a real highlight in that couple that I mentioned before. So I'll stop my havering and I'll sign out for tonight. Good night. Well, this would be a good test for the tent. I forgot to mention earlier on that I've had to wrap rocks, those extra bits, if you'd seen the video about the tent, added on. So first time I've had to use them, but I'm glad I had them. So the main guy points, I've had to wrap the extra lengths of guy around some rocks to give you some more stability. but it's taken a real buffeting. There was a red sky for a short period of time, but now the rain started, and I think it's going to be a stormy night. Worth mentioning, something I forgot to mention earlier on, when I was at Whittle on the salmon beat and found that flat, really, ideal bit that would have been, perfect for pitching on, where I think somebody else had mentioned in their YouTube video they'd been. But I managed to sit there for about 10 minutes, and I'll call them swallows, the Minikin Martin's swifts were just darting about all over, right around me as well, missing me by a few feet. I've really seen them close up. So that's something really positive I'm going to take out about the last hour and a half before trying to put the tent up. So let's see if it stays up. It's the first big test it's probably had in challenging weather. So that's it. So unless something dramatic happens between now and tomorrow, I will speak to you tomorrow.